Hi everyone, welcome to Cinema Season 15. This season we're doing a bit of a sequel season and also a kind of a throwback season as well, because we're doing Back to the Future 2, which is the second sequel season we're doing after the Hunger Games one that we did. So basically for this game mode, we've got a mixture of game modes essentially. It's a bit complex, so I'm not going to get too into the game mode in the talking intro because it's just going to be me just dropping a paragraph, and that's just, no one's going to process any of that. So I'll just go over it like briefly. So I would use the Google document in the season 15 game mode channel as a reference. That will help you a lot, and also ask your teammate a lot of questions and badger me with questions if you have any, because I'm sure you will have a lot. But the main thing you need to know is that you start in a 1.2.5 world with a clock, and if you right click this clock, you teleport to the next world. The next world being the Maze Runner world from season 10. Then you can teleport again to the Quiet Place world, and then you can teleport to the Purge world, and then to the Jumanji world. The Maze Runner world, which is the first world. Also, you can TP to any world from the start of the game, and each TP has a 5-minute cooldown. The Maze Runner world has obviously a maze, and you start in the middle, so you start in the middle of the map. I'll ask just, don't spawn camp people when they teleport to the middle. So if you see someone like and PvP's on, just kind of be wary that they just teleport into that world. I kind of want to try and stop portal camping. Just be smart and just be nice, Just kind of fight if people agree to fight. And also another thing to know about the Maze Runner world is cave spiders spawn in the maze at night. So, just be aware that they will do that. Cave spiders at night in the maze. But they despawn at day. Okay. And the next world is the Quiet Place world. Yeah, the daylight night cycle should be the same in every world, Evan. Anyway. And this next world is the Quiet Place world. I won't get into like what makes noise. Again, use the doc or use the channel, the season 15 TLDR. Basically, if you make noise, monsters can spawn and they will attack you. And they have speed 1 resistance 1, so it's tough nails. And then the next world is season 6. There is iron in the original world. Basically, the original world has got 8% removed ores, but there is other. That's just gold and diamonds. Everything else, yeah, it's only gold and diamonds. But anyway, the Purge world, which is the third world, that's the third world to TP into. There are 3 villages, and starting from episode 3, villages will start with loot. It will say in chat. All of this will say in chat, so you'll know when stuff happens, which is kind of why I'm glossing over it a little bit. And then the last world, Jumanji world, has a temple at 0-0, which has a spit chest that spawns loot from episode 4 and episode 5. It refills every episode. And then at the end of episode 5, the game will be turned off, and we'll go do meet up in the original world, the starting world. Another, can you only get loot from episode 4? You can only get loot from episode 4 from the Jumanji world, but you can get loot from the Purge world from episode 3, and the Maze Runner world from episode 2. That's just the refill chest, because there's a couple chests in the Maze Runner world that have loot from the start. The other game mode that's kind of noteworthy is the Jumanji game mode is on. Basically, in chat I will say if you are rolling, and if you are rolling, you just do /roll. You just do /roll, and then you will roll, and something will happen in the game. It's quite self-explanatory. Here's Kyle, finally. Anyway, and then the last thing I should mention is the /disrupt game mode. So if you do /disrupt, and then like the person's name, so let's do Colin essentially. And if you have 1 diamond, they will be disrupted for 20 minutes, which means they'll have a negative effect based on what world they're in. So if they're in Maze Runner, they'll have blood diamonds. If they're in the Purge, they'll have paranoia. If they're in a Quiet Place, the chance of being heard will increase. And if they're in Jumanji, they'll be forced to roll the dice. Again, use the doc for reference. I just said a lot to you. I doubt any of that. I doubt you processed any of that. Yeah, you can leave the world light, but the effect will carry on to the next. So say you're in the Maze Runner world and you get disrupted, you'll have blood diamonds, and if you go to like the Quiet Place world, you'll have double rates. So the disruption lasts for 20 minutes, but
Pardon the airplane.
Yeah, it lasts for 20 minutes.
I live near an airport.
And you can only disrupt someone every 5 minutes, and also it costs a diamond. So it's quite pricey. So, yeah, just use the dog for a reference. I know that was a lot, I just threw at you. Yeah, you can choose how you disrupt Evan. You just do / disrupt in the player's name, and it will disrupt their team. So, if I do / disrupt Colin, that will disrupt him and Havenhand. Yeah, you can also push out and run from a fight with your clock, yeah. I'm using his example, look. Alright, I'm not gonna bother going to players because I've went way over the time. We're just gonna start, I think. So thanks a lot for coming, guys, and thanks a lot for playing. And we're gonna start now, I think. You see all the players in tab. Flap had some nice full diamond.
There's a lot going on, a lot to remember. I don't blame you. Oh, maybe Max. It's quite a bit of stuff to remember.
Yeah, but the important part is what we got the clock. We're given the clock. That was
Yes.
a big thing for me.
Yep.
We don't have to make it. Yeah.
Right. So we get the clock from the start, and then when you right-click it, it takes you to a different world.
Okay.
Oh,
Hey.
hello. We're kind of in a corner almost.
Yeah,
Hello.
we're right up against the wall. Kinda, a little push there. I don't mind. We get
Nope.
our trees and our clocks for cinema.
Yep. Yep.
How about that? Coming to you in the AM.
Indeed.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay,
well,
let's just go straight down. Good.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure it out as time
Yep.
passes. How much time do we want to spend in each world?
There's...
People are gonna be hopping.
Yeah, people will be hopping, and I kind of wonder if people are gonna hop around a lot, or if they're gonna just like hop to a certain world and pick it and stay there.
Yeah, yeah. Hard to say. I feel like part of what I thought was interesting was like I played rounds before that have the hopping mechanism, but it's always, maybe just one world you hop to and then that's that. But this one, it's like, oh, there's crazy loot that spawns at the start
Right.
of late episodes, and people might be hopping to one world just for the sake of getting to the other. Like as an
Right.
intermediate.
Yeah. So yeah,
So-
you might, if you want to get to World 4, you need to hop. In your 2, you need to hop twice. So you might just like choose to hop
Yeah.
halfway through an episode and hop again.
Yeah, you might not even do anything in certain places at all. There's one, I'm gonna have to pull it up on my phone, oh my god. But there's one where, like, you take more PvE damage or something.
Yep.
Per percentage, or, like, there's one where, like, the ore rates are less or better or something, so it's wild. And I'm gonna have to use my brain a lot. So, I'm ready for that.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of strategy in that.
It's true, it's true. I'm gonna move this clock out of my hotbar because I don't want to touch it. To be honest.
Oh, that's actually a great idea as well. If you're fighting somebody and you're like in trouble, just like warping to another world to get away from them. If they don't have, but you would have to know that they don't have the cooldown and just don't want to follow you. So
Yeah.
that's kind of that's the trade-off. That's the trade-off for that, is if they're like, oh yeah, we can take our clock too, and we'll just follow you to this next world and drop you there.
That's funny. I didn't think about that, but you're right. It's like the perfect escape strategy. Yeah.
Yeah.
which is funny because this is the Back to the Future season.
Yep.
And I can just imagine fucking Marty's got an issue with somebody. He's just gonna hop in the DeLorean. He's like, screw this! I'm out of here. I'm running somewhere else. And then it's a whole different scenario. So, but one thing I did notice, which you might already notice, given that we're at the border, these worlds are tiny.
Oh yeah, they're very small. Like
this radius is like 500 by 500.
Yeah, that is much smaller than I expected, but I guess that also kind of incentivizes moving about a little bit. Oh, there's a swamp over to the west. Yep.
Nice. Okay, I'm just gonna follow you over there because I'm gonna have more fun cutting trees in the swamp than I will in a jump off. To be quite honest.
Yep.
Okay.
I have to remember all the 1.8 mechanics because I've been playing in 1.18, so it's like the swimming stuff. The swim is like, I want to swim, and like, no, I'm slow. I'm slow in the water.
Boat mechanics are worse, but it's still like, better to make a boat because you're so slow.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about the new version is the better swimming because it's like finally, if you're an athlete, if you're in the pool, you probably hate Minecraft because you're like, I can't even be fun in the water. Yeah,
it's all the fun of the mods, finally. But now you can actually swim without having to play modded.
Yeah, I used to play so much modded when I was younger. I remember I'd get on my computer with my sister and we'd look up mods to like add to the computer. We'd be like, let's get the ice cream mod. Let's craft ice cream cubes, and we're like, Minecraft is the best game ever, and that was just the consensus.
Yep.
So.
Ooh, it's a cave over here. Careful.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, just be careful. It's like a little bit of a hole you can fall down.
Oh.
There's some water here. It's like,
this is taking me back a little bit. The generation, you can see it here in some of these areas.
Yeah, there's like some ravines and stuff that are just like, just a ravine over here now.
Did you play Cinema Season 4? I feel like
I did. I think that might have been the last one I played, just based on like my schedule availability, because they kept scheduling them at times I was not available. I was like busy going. I was on vacation, or I was busy with something else, and it just never really worked out.
It's such a bummer.
Yeah.
Now you get to play the one that is not just a throwback, but it's like, hey, you missed this one, here's all the worlds.
Oh yeah, it's like I have no expectations about any of this stuff. It's like, this is all relatively new and interesting.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Oop. There we go.
Whereas for me, it's like I've only played a couple seasons here and there because similarly, it's also like weirdly scheduled. But some of them I have played. Like my first season was season 5, the Jumanji one. So I'm like, great, I get to go back to the Jumanji world. This is awesome. I'm gonna, we spawn in a jungle. It's gonna be a jungle-esque season, I think. So, yeah. I'm pumped. I'm getting pumped. I'm just gonna get a shit ton of apples. I used an expletive there, but it's because I'm so passionate about apples.
Oh, don't walk in the wall.
Man, I miss when the wall was just bedrock. I was so visually.
Yeah, that was fun. You just like would see like this giant bedrock wall, and you're like, okay, that is wall.
You knew right away.
Yeah.
It could be nothing else.
Like the wall didn't move. It was just like a giant. You were just like inside of a giant Tupperware container.
Right, exactly. Whereas here, these guys can shrink on you. Not
I
think they will here, but like they could, and that's just a weird. It gives me the ick. I don't want to be shrunk. You know what I mean?
No, the only thing that's really taught me is learning about the visual indicators for when you're like, oh, okay, the wall is approaching. Because your screen starts to turn red, and you just know, okay, well, I need to go. Time to move, time to run. Flee.
It gives you a little heads up. Yeah, the visual. It is nice. Because you'll be in a cave, and then you're like, shit, how do I, like, chase and run away from this thing?
It kind of, last one I played was kind of last thing I did. It was kind of like that. And it was like, oh, okay, yeah, here comes the wall. It's turning red.
Oh, these trees drop sugar cane.
They do.
Huh.
Oh, actually, yeah, we are near a corner. Hello.
Oh, yeah?
If I look to the east, I can see the other wall too.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
Yep. I thought it was a corner before, so.
Oh, okay. I'm actually kind of shocked that we haven't seen anybody yet.
Well,
I think we would have this many teams. But
yeah.
I'm not complaining.
I'm also kind of curious if people may have already ventured out, or they are venturing out because the timers are active on the cooldowns. So I'm sure people are already trying to get the things.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. In all honesty.
Yeah.
Enough to blame him. I want to get like a bit flies first with the apples and everything and food before I move
Turn
on
that
out.
up.
But I'm gonna take a
Have
look
my-
at the second world actually. 'Cause I don't exactly remember.
Yeah. So I
Like,
remember.
what's the incentive to hop over there right
Yeah.
away? I'm not
So by the way, if things just got louder for
Outside
you,
of just getting
it is. I just
early
turned up
access,
my
earlier access to the.
I just turned up my recording sound. I forgot I had it in my.
Not a small little cave.
I was recording with. I'm recording with OBS, so I forgot I had it in my stream settings. Yep. My stream settings are quieter than my recording settings for a lot of games because a lot of games are loud.
Okay. Even more iron. Oh my god. Hey Alice, my cat walked in. Hey.
Aww, kitty.
She's very cute.
Yeah, I have no idea when this is coming out, but the girlfriend and I are talking about possibly adopting a cat at some point.
Aw, really?
Yeah, I've wanted one for a while. I just haven't been able to have a situation where it's like I'm not well now that I'm living with her, you know, there's multiple people around. I'm working from home, so I'm not having to go to work every day, which is a big part of the problem with cat ownership is, you know, I would basically be like, hey cat, I'm going away for 8 hours. I'll see you later. So now there's kind of like, I can like be around and like actually like watch and take care of a cat and all that.
Give them the attention they need.
Yes. Also, I've also talked about birds, but they're a lot harder to find like adoptable birds that aren't like senior birds that were like someone's grandma's bird and grandma passed away and grandkids don't want to take care of the bird, so bird is at a
put them up for the adoption or whatever.
well, yes, it's like a rescue, you know, like a long-term rescue kind of thing where it's like, yeah, we'll just you know, we'll take care of the bird and hopefully maybe find someone who will take care of it. And like it's usually big birds too, like macaws and cockatoos and stuff like that, because they live for a very long time.
Okay. I just assumed it was like it's more attractive to have a giant bird, not like a small little one. But that makes sense.
Right. Well, yeah, like
I don't know how you'd adopt birds. Like, where would you go? I don't know if they're at your local adoption center. Usually.
Yeah, a lot of like local places don't really have like the infrastructure for like being able to have, like, some places do, where it's like you can have like a short-term thing, but you want to kind of adopt it out because birds are very they require like special vets and stuff like that. You wouldn't have to go. You have to go to a vet that can actually treat a bird. Not all of them can.
Knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
That is tricky. Yeah.
So yeah,
sweet. I hope you two can get a cat.
Yeah, we watch her parents have a bird that we watch from time to time when they go out of town because they're retired, so they vacation a lot. But yeah, so that's kind of where that idea came from. My girlfriend loves birds, so she's, you know, she really like a bird, and I wouldn't mind one. I've just always felt that I've also wanted a cat, and cats are easier. I think cats are easier probably to take care of than birds, because birds are they can be very temperamental depending on the bird and depending on the depending on the situation. Sometimes
For sure.
sometimes the bird likes one person, and by likes one person, literally there's like one person this bird might like super like, and even then it's like fussy on like, you know, like any animal. It's like, oh, I don't like you very much right now, so I'm going to be a sass.
Yeah, not as warm to humans on the whole.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's a thing where it's like, it's really nothing more than just the attitude of the bird or the cat or the dog that you get.
Yeah. I remember my aunt used to have a couple birds, and the biggest thing to me, which I didn't necessarily see coming, was just the noise. Like,
yeah.
you'd walk in the house and they'd just be like screeching, and I'm like, oh my god, you must really like birds if you're able to put up with this all day.
That's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Birds are pretty chatty creatures, especially male birds. They sing a lot more than females. But yeah, it's just like it's a lot of work. Especially because some of them get scared very easily, and you have to like deal with the mean garbage truck down the street came by, and I got scared, and I flew up on top of the coat hanger in the closet, and now I can't get down.
Yeah, that's funny. And you live in a space that can accommodate like cats as well? Okay.
Yes, yeah. We have a house.
Oh, nice.
Well, not a house, but like a townhouse. Big enough space. Right.
Yeah.
Much bigger than my old apartment, which was like a tiny little 1-bedroom apartment. So like, I definitely could not have really dealt with a lot more than what I had.
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah.
I would have got a bigger apartment, but they were much more expensive for more rooms. So it was like, screw it. Yeah. I'm here by myself at this point. I can just I can squeeze everything into a 670-foot square space. That's fine.
Yeah, for the time being. Hey, if it
works,
it works. I mean,
it works.
That was
Yeah.
a situation for a while where like really the space I had to myself was quite small. I mean, I had some roommates that also had their own rooms, but I when I was in university, I had a small room for myself, and it worked out perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But now that I also have like a girlfriend and I have like a full-time job, I'm thinking like, okay, I would like a bit of a larger space when the time comes, and maybe that'll include a pet or something as well. I think it just ties you so much more to that life. Like I've always had a pet, a cat in particular, at my parents' house. Growing up, I always had cat time, and I think it just made the house so much more lively. Like there was always a friend around.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, we had dogs because my sister was allergic to cats, so we couldn't have. Well, my mom didn't was not really big into cats. She didn't hate them, but she was not like, it was not like her first choice was like a cat.
Right. Fair enough.
So we'd go over my aunt. My aunt had cats and dogs, so we'd go over to my aunt's house, and I'd spend like half the time like trying to find the cats. Be like, cats, I'm gonna come pet you now if that's okay.
Yeah, they're like a whole attraction over there. Yeah.
Yep. Hello.
Oh, that's lovely.
Hi, you're back.
I especially see more like I don't know. I mean,
okay.
Reputation, but there's such more of a, especially if you get
forgot her meds.
Not as high maintenance. Like, of course, you want to give them affection, but you can just kind of let them do their thing for most of the day.
Yeah, that's kind of also, I think, part of the reason that I was interested. Also because I specifically am looking for a black cat because of the... Well, they have a lot of stigma with them. A lot of people still don't like black cats for some reason. And my thought was always, well, if I'm going to get a cat, I'm going to get a black one because they're kind of like, everyone kind of is like, not everyone kind of ignores them, and it's like sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like that too, and we can be outcasts. We
Right.
could be societal outcasts together. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, for what reason? I have never understood it. I mean, maybe there's like a cultural thing around bad luck, but it's like,
Yeah.
you're missing out on what is still a lovely, lovable, sweet cat who could be exactly what you need.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know.
It's a culture thing, I think. with,
Right.
like the whole superstition, like black
Yeah.
cats are bad luck, and it's like, well, some days I feel like I had nothing but bad luck in these UHCs, so maybe like maybe I'll just play next time with the cat on my lap, and like the bad luck that I have in these recorded rounds, and the bad luck I have will be counteracted by the bad luck. It'll like cancel. It's like math. It's just like you have two negatives, and they just kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go, right?
There you go. See that.
Yeah, it's like if you multiply a negative by a negative, it's a positive.
Absolutely.
There you go. Same with dividing it. Ooh! I almost fell into a hole there. Ooh.
Oh, don't do that.
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I just was digging down, and I opened something up, and there's just like cave, and I'm like, ooh.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying
This
to.
generation is it's so funny. It doesn't exactly work the way that I expect it to. So I keep just
Right.
like turning around corners in my cave, and I'm like, oh, okay. Or like, yeah, just like weird corners and dead ends and stuff like that. You just
Yep.
I'm rolling with it.
Yep.
Which is fun.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah. Yeah, black cats are adorable. I hope that you can get one, and
Yeah.
that'll spruce up the days a bit.
Indeed. Yeah, I will. We're gonna take her time getting all that set up, just because cats
Long
are
process.
any adoption or getting any sort of pet. It's like you got to bring a new family member in, and it's gonna take time. And speaking of time, the timer is about ready to flip over.
Yes, you're more astute than I am. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. Well, and please sleep well tonight, okay?
Yes.
Bye.